What is the difference between open loop and closed loop? An open loop is a system that works without requiring feedback. An example of that is a basic kitchen toaster. And then a closed loop is a system that works on feedback from something else. So an example of that is a project I did in year 2, a ball and beam system. That was a closed loop where it had to keep the ball on the beam. So by using data from one side, it then measured the other, it then affected the other side, meaning that the ball would always stay on the beam, whether it was leveraging up or down. Question 7. How do you use data to make decisions, and provide an example of a project where you've been involved in? I use data to make informed decisions and systematically collecting, analysing and interpreting relevant information. An example of that is my dissertation project, where I aim to monitor and optimise environmental conditions. For a specific application, I use temperature and humidity, a sensor, to collect data for a set period of time. By analysing this data, I identified patterns and trends that indicated when the environmental conditions deviated from optimal. Hey, you have built a physical Arduino system, but you have built a physical Arduino sensor and actuator system, but it's not working. What is your approach to resolve this? The first thing I'd look at is the hardware and whether everything is connected right, whether there's enough power coming into the system, whether the system needs external power source as well. The Arduino, if everything seemed to be connected correctly, there was enough power to run everything, I'll then move on to checking the code, whether everything's initialized correctly and it's in the right ports. Describe a situation where you didn't have enough information to solve a problem, and what did you do? During a module in this past year that's just gone, we were introduced to the Potenza H7, and when it came to initializing components, as in we had to use a BME 280 sensor. When it came to connecting that, as there wasn't much information, as the Potenza is a new device, there wasn't much information on the internet, so we had to kind of like trial and error to kind of get it working. But there's not enough information in this moment in time to show you how to connect everything on the Potenza. You kind of have to figure it out yourself. The last question was the last question. Ooh, how did you find that interview? What did you struggle with and why? What do you think went well? What would you prefer more next time an interview? I think what went well is what role I want and what my ambitions are. That's a part that I'm strong at. But giving examples on the spot about things that I've done, there's too many, and I really should like make a list of everything I've done and describe which situation where you didn't have enough information. It's kind of like things that are really relevant in my head right now, which I've just currently done, whereas there's projects from year 2, year 2 and year 1 where I probably had a problem, but if I had more time to prepare, then I'd prepare a lot more of them as I remember what happened. But right now in my head, as I've just finished my 3rd year, it's mostly just the things that we've just done that are relevant in my head right now.